Hey, it's Brett, and this is Brett and Some Books. Today we're continuing the plot to seize the White House by Jules Archer. This is chapter 25, the final chapter of part 2. In August, when Jerry Maguire returned from Europe, the bond salesman had insisted upon another meeting with Butler on a matter of the utmost importance. And at their discussion in the empty restaurant of Philadelphia's Bellevue Hotel, Maguire had sought out to get him to agree to lead a fascist coup to capture the White House. While smoking out the plot as far as he could and then getting reporter Paul Comley French to investigate it for corroborative evidence in preparation to exposing it, Butler continued his crusade against war and on behalf of justice for veterans. Once more, he found himself running into censorship trouble. Radio station WAVE, carrying his speech on October 3rd to the VFW National Convention, cut him off the air for objectionable language used before a mixed audience. The convention unanimously adopted a resolution condemning WAVE, for unceremoniously curtailing the address of General Butler, an honored and beloved member of this organization. Louis G. Bird, adjutant of the Butte, Montana Post, wrote him, "This assertion is just some more of the same old hooey to mislead the public. In our opinion, you were cut off simply because you are one man before the public who has the courage to give the public the true facts that they hunger to hear, and in a language which there is no misunderstanding. Be assured, General, that this effort to prevent the searchlight from being turned onto the malefactors of this great wealth and veterans' enemies will prove futile to stop your untiring fight for justice for the veterans and the common people." On Armistice Day, Butler was vigorously applauded for a speech to a New York Jewish congregation, appealing to all religious groups to stop the war racket. He created a sensation in the press by flatly declaring that he would never again carry a rifle on foreign soil. He proposed 2 constitutional amendments. The first would make it impossible for war to be declared except by the exclusive vote of those physically able to fight. The second would prevent the United States warships from going beyond a 200-mile limit, and airplanes from going more than 500 miles from the American coastline. On the same night, from Richmond, Virginia, American Legion Commander Frank N. Belgrano, Jr., a banker, indirectly replied in an angry speech attacking radical tendencies. "Some, it would seem, have forgotten that our country requires of us high and willing duty today as it did when we went forth to fight the enemy in the open. We are facing a new and more dangerous foe today. It has seeped quietly into our country and has whispered into the ears of our workers and our people everywhere that our ideals of government are out of date. We of the Legion are mobilized to meet that enemy, and we are calling upon loyal Americans everywhere to join us in ridding our country of this menace." To Butler, this sounded suspiciously like the reams of propaganda the American Liberty League was now sending out, along with lecturers, to denounce the socialism of this Roosevelt administration and call for a return to the doctrines of a laissez-faire economy. The League's campaign failed to make any impact in the congressional elections of 1934, however, and FDR won an enormous Democratic victory in both houses of Congress. Meanwhile, gossip was spreading around Washington that the American Legion was going to provide the nucleus of a fascist army that would seize the Capitol. John L. Spivak, a crack reporter whose specialty was exposing American fascists, and of whom Lincoln Steffens once said, "He is the best of us," heard about it from an eminent Washington correspondent with excellent sources of information and decided to investigate it. The rumors also reached the McCormick-Dickstein Committee of the House of Representatives. This was the first House Un-American Activities Committee, at that time equally oriented against fascist and communist activities. Under Representative John W. McCormick, later Speaker of the House, it spent considerable time and energy unmasking fascist agents in America. Not until 1939, when a new version of HUAC was reconstituted under the chairmanship of Martin Dees, did the committee become infamous for its relentless persecution directed almost exclusively against liberals and leftists of every persuasion, while ignoring subversion on the right. One of McCormick-Dickstein's committee's investigators contacted Butler to ask if there was any truth in the rumors that he could shed a light on. Now that he had had Paul Comley French's testimony to corroborate his own, Butler decided that there was little more to be gained by playing McGuire along. Between French and himself, the plotter's secret plans had been ferreted out to a significant extent. Come hell or high water, press, ridicule, or denunciations terming him a madman, he was now determined to testify before the committee and spread the plot for fascist takeover of the United States all over the front pages. He would destroy it before it had a chance to crush democracy in the country he loved and had served all his life. But would he be believed, even with the support of French's testimony? What if he wasn't? Worse, what if he had waited too long to unravel the whole sordid story, and it was already too late to stop the conspirators?